All right, so I see pitch decks every single day, but I don't think, and I'm betting on that you don't. So what I wanted to do is I actually wanted to go through exactly how I look at pitch decks from any project. And we're gonna cover 6 T's, all right? Those 6 T's, that first one is trigger, the second one is team, the third one is technology, the fourth one is traction, the fifth one is something called tokenomics, and then the sixth one is terms and conditions, which may not be possible here because we don't have access to that information. But let me set the backdrop here for you. Somebody, and I can't remember who it was, put up a file of 50 pitch decks on LinkedIn. I downloaded. I have not seen these projects. I have no idea what they are. Now, I believe they've already raised money or they closed their rounds. These are not live existing raises that are happening. These aren't founders looking for money, at least as so far as I know. So I just want to pick. We're gonna go one by one, and this time around will only be one. And let's just go through. And I've got a timer, and the whole point of this timer is I want to do it in under no more than 10 minutes. That's the goal. All right, and we can kind of talk about it afterwards, but I do want to jump straight into this. So this one is called simulating your token economy. Okay, I have no idea what this is. So let's take a look here. So this is how I would go about looking at any pitch deck right off the bat. So that first one that I talk about is called trigger. What does that mean? For me, is does the deck trigger an emotion? Now that emotion could be, this is garbage, they didn't put enough time or effort into this, there's no thought in here. What does it even look like? Did they try and design this themselves on Canva? All the aesthetics of it, everything plays into this. And that's something that you just kind of look at as you go through the deck. So sometimes you can see it off the first slide, but usually it takes a couple of slides in and then you start to see the pattern there. And you know, it might be something at the end you're just like, hey, look, there's just something off about this. So that's the first one that I always look at, is just as I scroll through, what is this? What kind of feel do I have for this project? Is it professional? You know, does it need a lot of work? And also gives me a good indication of how far along they are in the process. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing that I look at. But I'm actually going to just start timing this now, and we're going to go ahead and just see how long this takes. So there we go. We started the timer. So what is this? Simulating your token economy, the need to know for proactive Web3 founders. Now, doesn't give me a whole lot of information, right? Off the first slide. Something about tokens. Maybe they're generating them. I don't know what they're doing. Let's take a look. So it says the road to yes starts with visualization. What's the common thread among no deal Shark Tank pitches? Unpreparedness. With the right diagrams and data, you can showcase the exact value your project brings to the table without becoming shark bait. Okay, so did they outline a problem correctly enough? Is there a problem that I think they could solve? What is that? Okay, so let's get back to this here. Real time, I'm not filtering any of this, no editing. Okay, so they're saying here is what's the common thread. So basically pitches aren't prepared. Okay, that's the problem here. So these guys are finding some way to solve that problem of not being prepared. So they're saying, let's put the power of data models to work for your project, and they're going to outline basically everything for you, your financials, the token economy, and all the data around your project, and they're going to create it in a certain way that you can find any gaps in your actual data, and then that way your pitch is airtight. So that's what they're solving here, is that when you go on these pitches or you pitch anywhere, the investors are poking holes, and a lot of times the biggest holes are when you don't know your own numbers or you don't even see your own gaps or weaknesses. They are looking to solve that. Okay, decent problem there. So how we make it happen? From the predictive insights, KPIs, okay. Okay, so basically it's like a data-centered dashboard that they're doing. They're going beyond just the static type data of an Excel sheet. Okay. Yeah, it's not too much there. Okay, so what are they gonna do? They're gonna map your utilities. So they're gonna do a deep dive into the projects and utilities. Okay, it's fine. So here we'll answer your most pressing. So one of the biggest problems that projects have is do they have the right tokenomics? If you're not familiar with what that word means or that phrase means, the concept is actually that the tokens involved in the project, you know, max supply, limiting supply, what's in circulation, what percentage the team have versus investors versus the public. Like, there's so many different things that are involved in tokenomics that a lot of times projects are outsourcing this to those who are more experienced. So they're saying that's what they offer, and they'll make it in a way that it makes sense, and not just for the founders, but more importantly for the VCs or anybody investing. Okay, and this is actually part of one of the T's that I said, the terms and conditions. So a vesting schedule. Vesting basically means is that when you invest, you're going to get a certain amount of tokens in this case. And this also happens in traditional markets, stock market as well. Vesting just means that while you may have 100 shares or 100 tokens, you're not going to get that all up front. And they're going to have some kind of schedule where they're going to release it to you piecemeal so that you cannot dump all of your shares on the market. It really protects the price point of tokens in this case. Okay, so they'll go through all that, great. And they can actually do simulation. Okay, so basically we're gonna take your business model and make it into a visual video basically of how it's gonna work. Okay, just hit play. That's pretty interesting, I like that. Does it even play? Let's see if it plays.
Of a business model. And in fact, we program this custom depending on your unique needs. For example, we will look at your entire Web3 project, your business, we'll understand how you make money in fiat, we'll understand how your tokens used. We will actually simulate all of this for you so that you have a way to actually present your economy in a more formal or easy to business will actually make money while considering any of what you're building.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Not only is it just a dashboard, it's actually a simulation. So it's a dynamic presentation of your data, of the way your business model runs. And I think that's very fascinating because it'll be very customized, and it's a very intriguing idea for an investor to actually see that play out. So I do like this. So they've got 3 packages. Okay, what is this? Okay, so this is just their tiers: gold, platinum, diamond. Good, they've got a revenue model already in mind. That's always a great thing to see. Boom, let's go take it to the next step. Okay, so yeah, and they give their, okay, so what don't I like about this? I'm gonna tell you guys right now. We mentioned the 6 T's, right? And the 6 T's, the trigger, hey, look, not a bad deck. It's decent looking deck. Doesn't at least give me the emotion that I hate it or that it's not professional. It could be better, but it's decent. It's not a deal breaker, okay? Here's the problem. I don't know who the team is. There's no team slide. And that's right there, that's cause for I'm out. Even though I love the concept, because I have to see the team. There has to be a representation of a face behind this. You cannot be hiding behind anything. And not necessarily mean they're hiding, but I'm not going out of my way just to see who the team is. It should already be presented. So I definitely don't like that. I don't know what they're built on in terms of their tech stack. You know, are they on Avalanche? Are they on Polygon? Are they on ETH? I have no idea. So that's something, a conversation, if it would ever get there. You look at traction. So if I go to traction, really can mean a bunch of things, like who the investors are. That's something I would get from anyone who is presenting the deal to me, but also I could look at or have a call with them and just ask them straight out who was invested in your previous rounds, who's leading this round or interested in this round. That gives me some idea of traction. But what I always like to do as well is you just go straight onto Twitter and we see what is going on with let's see. So let's see if we can find Moonbound. Okay, so let's go. Moonbound. Did it not show up? Let's just make sure. Interesting. Okay. I don't I don't see a company called Moonbound at all. Okay, I don't know if they've changed their name or it's Moonbound NFTs. Nah, it can't be that. It's not NFTs. Oh, here we go. Right, is it this? Nope. Okay, so I can't find them. Maybe they have it. Are they on something else? They're on LinkedIn. Okay, and they don't have any of their social handles, so I can't find that. So I don't like this. There's no way for me to check any engagement. Again, I don't know the context of this deck, but right off the bat, no team. I don't know the tech stack, and I can't see traction. And Twitter's a great place to see where the community is engaging. I could look at Discord, but I'm not going to go through that process now with all the other strikes against it. So that's not going to work for me. And terms and service, terms and conditions, not a big deal. That's something you can actually discuss and figure out, and it's flexible, right? But all the other things I mentioned in terms of I can't see the team, I don't know the tech stack. Again, that's something still I can have a discussion, not a big deal. And then I don't know the traction. So team and traction are two of the biggest things, and team is by far the biggest. And if I can't see that, I'm not interested. And one of the things is, as interesting as this concept is, as great as the video that they have, if I don't know the team, at least put a face to this, it's gonna be very hard to get another call. And so look, how long did that take me? That took me right up here. It says 8 minutes. So 9 minutes. And that's still searching for things and doing all that. It wasn't even strictly on the pitch itself. All right. So 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes on this particular deck alone. And again, personally, I'm out. There's not enough information. And one of the things with a pitch deck, and maybe that's what they were doing here, the goal is not to get someone to say they're going to write a check for you on the spot. The goal is to make them interested enough where they want to have another conversation. I think Shark Tank has kind of ruined it for everybody, where you think they come in. First of all, the episodes are much longer than what they show. They edit it, right? Maybe you see 10, 15 minutes, but it may be an hour and a half of the whole process. But you think someone's going to offer you a check at the end of it. That's not how this works. The pitch happens, then you do your due diligence. You get to see a data room. Basically, it is the back end of all of the data that a company can have. Contracts, term sheets, whatever it may be, employee contracts, anything that they've generated revenue on, just anything and everything would be in that data room. So you can kind of pile through that. And then you can also speak to other investors and all that kind of, so this is not it's not a same day process, which is what Shark Tank makes it look like. And even them, they still do their due diligence after, and many of those deals that they say yes to fall apart because of that due diligence. So even them, it's not day of. So maybe they're going for, hey, let's just spark some interest for more conversation. But here, I don't have enough information to even want to have a second conversation, because to me, those are basic points that I should have already, and I shouldn't have to waste time or another conversation just to get that information. So I would be out on that regard right there. And it's one of those things that, again, that trigger part is just a feel, not bad, but I've seen much, much better, and that just comes with seeing more and more pitch decks. So hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if this company is successful or not today. They very well may be, but this deck definitely could use a lot of work. So tune in. Next time we'll pick the next one down the line in this stack of 50, and we'll take it from there.